Good evening, sirs and madams. It's your buddy Admiral Teag. It's good to see everyone out there. Before we get started, usually what we do is we throw down the banter for a couple of minutes. And welcome, Germ. How you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. How you doing, Teague?
I'm great, but I want to take a moment before we really get going to thank Ruby Hoove, who gifted a membership to our community, and that membership went to Fox Hills U3S. Welcome aboard, Fox Hills. Good to see you with us. And I want to thank Ruby Hoove again, and for the $5 super chat. Down with the flu. Have a marvelous evening, y'all. You know what, Ruby? Taking the time out to give us a wonderful gift. It's so nice of you to do, especially if you're feeling under the weather. We're going to have to dig down deep and make sure that we give Ruby Hoove at least the entertainment that she is underwritten for tonight. What do you think, Char?
Oh, definitely. Well deserved.
Yeah. Ruby has the flu now, but we will try to entertain you. What do you think?
Pretty good.
You know, it's just she inspires me. I want to thank Ruby Hoove 9. I see a few people here. Wow, we got like a but there is standing room only early on. You're here, the Trek reviewer. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Iris Costa. Oh, she loves JT. And Gavin Blackburn and Ruby Hoove are all here as more people start to pile in. Say hi. Stand, speak, friend, and enter. Come forward and be recognized. Thank you, Ruby Hoove, for the $5 super chat and for gifting a membership to one of our channel members. It's really, really an amazing gift, and I thank you so much for it. Check out the member videos, and also there will be a member stream. We got to do one pretty quick, huh? We did one on the 1st, but that was the February stream. But then again, there were 2 in January. I think people understand that we're making with these streams more than every 30 days. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's understandable. We got a pretty good rate going as it is.
There's a lot going on. As you guys know, Admiral gig employment has to stay grounded in the real world and pay the rent. So we don't know what's going on Thursday and Friday, but there is no NuTrek. When the next NuTrek show drops, we don't know what we're going to do. We don't. Did you see the debate going on in the group chat whether or not we should even recognize it?
I did see that, and personally, I would like to avoid any of the suffering.
I think if they drop it all at once, what we'll do is we'll only watch the last episode. We'll review that, and we'll celebrate the end of Kurtzman, because I believe what we'll do is we'll just document the broken off fragment of NuTrek. He's going to snap that off like a glass rod. He does not care, and he's not going to give people an ending. He can't write one anyway, and he's going to try to keep negotiating to get his beta canon. He's never given up on any of his little delusions, in my experience of watching NuTrek. What has your experience been with this stubborn creator, Alex Kurtzman?
He is the most money-grubbing, two-faced, rotten son of a bitch ever to be in the business of Hollywood, and that's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot. Okay, yeah, I find him to be repellent, and I think that he is pretty two-faced because he sits there and he promises people. Someone like Mark D with a C pays money to go to a Comic-Con. He loves comic books. He loves memorabilia. He could be going to one table after another, seeing beautiful things that he would get further, into debt buying, and that's like, well, that's why we're here. Some of us, me too. I have my share of Star Trek paraphernalia. You've got your collectibles. We all love our stuff, but instead he goes and listens to Alex Kurtzman, who tells him, you know what, give Star Trek Academy. Give Star Trek Academy a chance, because what we're going to do here is we're going to give you Star Trek like you had growing up. It's going to be like more Star Trek than Star Trek. You get so tired of winning, and then what happens?
Yeah, he pretty much screws it up on purpose.
And Mark paid like a good deal of money to go to the New York Comic-Con. So think about the dollars per minute per the sunk costs, things that he put in there to go to this Comic-Con. Like, he could have, granted, did he save money? Yeah, but he had to listen to Alex Kurtzman lie to him and watch that one chick have like a breakdown, start crying. Serious acclamation mill.
Yeah, not quite worth the money.
No, I would say not. Like, who needs a 90-minute talk from Alex Kurtzman about how Star Trek is going to be great again when you've just, seen some of these things? And like, I right away, I was telling Mark, I really don't think he's going to make with those promises. He's like, he said absolutely the right thing. And I'm like, he's been doing that for a long time. And you and I have been kind of following his statements. If Alex Kurtzman ever followed through with the things he said at cons and stuff like that, how great would his Star Trek be?
Unreasonably so. He's made some
The
pretty outlandish claims.
Well, no, he's made the claims people wanted to hear, but they're outlandish in light of what we got. Would be the way to put it. You're right, though. It was very outlandish. The best way we could put this one is he came in there promising us a more familiar Star Trek that was like the Star Trek we had before after having a few terrible experiences pancaking with Star Trek Discovery, but after saying that same thing, pancaking with a couple of seasons of Strange New Worlds and counting, after saying those exact same things, and now pancaking with an idea that's been kind of getting rejected since the 90s of Starfleet Academy. So I don't know if it was ever a good idea or a good bet. Do you think this was the last attempt to rebrand, or do you think this was the first attempt at outright sabotage, or did one lapse into the other? What do you think happened here?
I'm thinking it kind of lapsed when, in his infinite ego, he thought he can make Star Trek Dawson's Creek work. And then when it became obvious that it wasn't, he said, fuck it, and let's just try to get these people for all they're worth.
This is what he has instead of Star Trek United so that he could get cheaper writers. This is what he has instead of Star Trek United so that he could have cheaper writers. It's really almost insane. I find it to be strange and a little bizarre. And I don't know why someone would be so naive as to pass on an idea as good as an Enterprise sequel that takes place before your canonical timeline. And at the same time, doesn't interfere with any other Star Trek canon, avoiding the need to litigate altogether. That might be the most appealing thing from the point of view of rebooting the Star Trek franchise. What do you think, Germ? Or at least re-origining it and reestablishing the original continuity. What do you think?
It is possible the best idea they can come up with. They do need something to lead into a new generation of Trek, so not an entire series based off of Enterprise, maybe just a movie.
We really want movies on this one. We want a series of ongoing movies. We think that a seasonal 90-minute Star Trek movie would actually be great for the franchise and be great for the fandom. I think that we as fans are prepared to see that kind of an event, and that Star Trek can then build towards a 26 episode series that could stream somewhere like, or be on CBS, and that the movies could then be coordinated along with it on the same time frame, and have the movies just sort of take place in a way that doesn't interfere with the world of the TV shows, as happened when we had TNG and Deep Space Nine on at the same time, and Voyager. Thank you, Ruby Hoove, by the way. Thank you so much for these wonderful gifts to the community. I thank you.
But yeah,
Hello.
would be. I don't really think a series of movies, maybe just the one movie for Enterprise. We can go off from there. See how that goes first.
I didn't read what PBE 777 wrote, but I do love it. Sam, sandwich acquisition machine. When she said, my name is Series Acquisition Mill, but I want people to call me Sam, I decided I was only going to call her Series Acquisition Mill. How about you? The name doesn't make sense.
Might as well do that, but I really like that sandwich acquisition machine.
Yeah. Also, I think we're being very improper. Like, weren't there people getting in trouble for that avatar for a while there on YouTube for displaying it or even showing it? So we're being quite controversial indeed. Hello, Tim, FKHHC 2005. Are you enjoying it? Hello, John, the Beagle Dad. Hello, Gavin. Blackie's here. It's good to see Blackie and everybody. Iris just loves JT Kirk. I'm sorry he's taken, Iris, but you know what? We do love having you here. And look, Sean Carter's out there. No more Starfleet Academy. Can we get a Spock Bacon Dance, sir? Sir! I believe that what you deserve is the Spock Bacon Dance, and I think what we should do is probably the full Spock Bacon Dance. So we'll let you have the entire track is called NuTrek Nonsense. Here it is.
Insufficient sensor data. Incorrect.
10 fucking grueling hours.
There's a reason why I put the crime scene investigation logo up there on that bumper, because really what they're doing to Star Trek is an absolute crime. I don't know of too many other franchises that have been dragged through the mud like this. Really, the only people that can compete with them, Germ, is it Doctor Who?
Yeah, Doctor Who to a lesser extent, Star Wars, but
Star
really
Wars
Star
seems
Trek
to
is far and beyond.
Star Wars seems to have realized that they were piling up really bad and slowed down. I don't know if they're reconsidering quality, and they should, but they seem to have realized that it was an ongoing, continuing pile up and just a car wreck, flaming, ejecting, screaming people, like the worst TV and movie kind of car wreck you could ever have. Do you think the Star Wars people have maybe taken their foot off the gas while they're like, okay, Mr. Maloney, get to know your new boss?
Well, probably not on purpose, but infighting gave them a big window to try to self-repair. They've been going through, with Kennedy leaving and having two new bosses, it's going to take them a while to figure out the pecking order. So, fingers crossed.
I think they said, yeah, well, yeah, hopefully, right? I think what they said was the chick is like operational boss and Filoni is artistic boss. So she'll be like, here's the amount of money to do the movie with.
Yeah, that's the idea, but we'll have to see how it actually works out.
But yeah, no more Starfleet Academy. Sean, a member for 26 months. Sir, thank you. Sir, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And, unlike Captain Picard, I have a real functioning human heart. I didn't lose it to a Nausicaan in a battle. It's so good to have people like you having my back. I couldn't be more flattered that for 26 months you would support me. And I thank everyone who supported the channel all this time. I think maybe we need a little more video. Let's have George Lucas explain storytelling.
Do you want the Star Wars trilogy and the mythology to go beyond your lifetime?
No. 3 will be the last film, and it'll be a 6-part series, and that'll be the end of it.
Incorrect.
You're not mentoring someone to take over for you?
No, it's
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
There may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release.
Affirmative.
I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek.
All right, George Lucas doesn't want to see Star Trek just sort of turn into Star Wars just turn into Star Trek. If only, right? At least of the Star Trek that we enjoy. If only. Now, when they send us their Star Trek Germ, they don't send us their best anymore, do they?
Not by a long shot.
They don't send us James Tiberius Kirk. They don't send us Jean-Luc Picard. Well, they sent us Jean-Luc Picard. That was a problem. They don't send us Benjamin Sisko, though. They don't send us their Benjamin Siskos anymore, do they, Germ? They're sending Mikey Spock. They're sending Michelle Yeoh. They're sending, mirror universe criminals, and some, I'm assuming, are nice enough people. But I don't want to watch them on my TV. I don't want them around schools, and I don't want this show shown to kids. Germ, thoughts?
Definitely not shown to kids. But we should get Sean's other super chat.
I did. I am behind on that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Starfleet fucking Academy. Star Trek fucking Academy really was 10 grueling fucking hours. It so was. I have to thank everyone in my crew who watched it. You know, honestly.
Did anyone see that this is wrong?
I knew it was wrong, but I gave everybody performance enhancers.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
Thank you for the 10 Greenlandian greenbacks, my friend. When I get my reparations in Cuba, you will be at the hacienda with me. Germ, this exciting story brought to you by my friend Sean Carter. We were talking about this before the show. Isn't it great? Have you heard this? Have you heard the stories? Have you heard the stories that are going around?
Yeah, they're considering reparations for property of Americans seized in the revolution.
I'm going to get reparations. I have a shot. I have a shot of getting reparations. Do I take that land in Cuba? Like what do I take? Do I take the money or do I take the land?
Either way, it's worth dirt.
I think what would I have to do? Just pay taxes on the land, right? I think I'd go with the land. You know what? It would be great to own some real estate. And you know, as well, not quite half, but as also being an Italian, I would think that going back to Cuba would be in my DNA on both sides of my family, right? Like, I'm fairly sure that some of the Italian people in my family found time to go to Cuba for just a little while. What do you think, Jerm? Lombardi's here.
Yeah, just a little bit. They don't want you talking about what they did there, but they were there.
It's so good to see you, Lombardi. Hello. Did I miss anyone else? I said hi to Trek Review. I see all CBS has been good at is making police procedurals like Blue Blood, CSI, and NCIS. They have really done a great job with that. I think what happened was there's a possibility of possible. Do we want to call it like envy factor? We have NBC. Paramount puts on Law and Order. Law and Order has a 20-year run off the bat right away. And SVU is in season 27. There have been various other Law and Order shows that have had varied degrees of success. A couple of them outright failed. Trying to deal with 9/11 did so much damage to a couple of 9/11 shows that they decided that they would just keep them to a limited run. You know what I mean? Like the Law and Order shows that started in like 1999 or 2001, the ones that tried to kiss 9/11, they really, really, like the Special Victims Unit had no reason to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, we need our 9/11 sex crime angle here. Like, no. But yet, thank you, Sean, for the amazing $10 super chat, Greenlandian greenbacks. I can't believe that we were through what we were through. Though I don't think the next drop is till around Memorial Day, right? We're safe for a while. We're quite safe from your friends here.
But now that it's canceled, he might just go all out and just push to try to get Paramount to make a mistake.
You know what? I can't believe that Kurtzman would stop antagonizing, stop trying to drag this out, stop hoping the situation changes. His non-realistic approach to going at this business end of this has worked out for him perfectly for only about 10 years now. Nothing has gone wrong from the business end as far as he has failed over and over and over and continued going on, like making his own money, getting the cash he wanted out of it without ever having the talent to have made this show. What's he going to do? CBS owns Hawaii Five-0. They're not going to give that back to him. Germ, what do you think? Transformers Prime, The Return with Alex Kurtzman? Oh, wait, Paramount owns that too.
More importantly, Hasbro owns that, and they're more protective of that than the Vatican is over all that ill-gotten goods they got.
Lombardi 1969 brings up a point here that the Cubans might not be being serious when they say that we can have reparations. That would be disappointing. I'm looking forward to that Hemingway-esque sort of place on the beach in Cuba, drink a couple of Dos Equis, be the most interesting Teag in the world. What do you think, Jerm? Would you visit me down there?
It's probably a little hot for me down there.
That is true. That is true. It is pretty hot in Cuba, but they do wear the sensible Guayabera. I don't know. I would love to go down there and see what it was like. I'd love to see the fam if we do end up taking it over, but that's just one of a bunch of things going on in the world today. Did you hear about this set of circumstances that is bringing together Anna Nicole Smith and Meghan Markle, along with Brie Larson and Jack Quaid, and this weird, strange thing going on?
That sounds like a clusterfuck of epic proportions.
Doesn't it? From what I understand, the project's called The Closest of Friends or something of that nature, and it involves two couples that run into each other. One couple is unknown and one is, quote, very famous. So this would be like someone and their wife get into an elevator, someone like reaches forward, holds the door open, and George Clooney and his wife walk in.
It sounds like a weekend with probably Epstein.
Steinep, Germ. Steinep's Pleasure Planet. It's a real place. You know what? Ooh,
can talk about him. He's dead.
Yep, I guess we can. Hello, everybody. We got a goal. We want to try to make it to 30 likes. If you're here now or you're coming through later, you can still help us out by hitting that like button. It really, really helps. And what can I tell you? Call to action. We love you guys, and we want to get out the message of this channel. I have been having a lot of problems with my uploads, but I now have a suspicion that something has been going on with people. Like, could subscriber only mode be encouraging people to join the channel that then just forget to unjoin or something like that to try to watch a watch party where they think the watch party is still active? I am utterly confused. Apparently, at least 200 people seem to have joined for every episode of Landman.
It's doing pretty good.
That's not as many people, but less people watched a couple of them. In the middle of the season there, remember when it was like 120 views because people didn't know if they were going to be able to fix it, and Curiosity only came back at the end?
Yeah, but that does seem to balance out. Probably didn't get them all at each particular episode. I'd say probably the last one got the bulk of the subscribers.
It was sort of a little too weirdly evenly spread. I talked to YouTube about it. We'll see what they say. YouTube customer service is like, let's just say, can we put like some mid 20th century Germans in charge so that they could get a little more efficient? Oh my God, are they ever inefficient over there? But the outlooks sometimes not so far apart, if you know what I'm saying. At any rate, moving on.
Before we move on, Sean gave us another super chat.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Sean, the Cuban reparation thing is false. They actually said they were going to repair their nation. They just talk so fast, everyone misunderstood it. Well, here I sit, absolute proof of that. But I am so lucky to have a friend like Sean Carter, one, first of all, like when people come to my house and they say, "Where do you get such beautiful toys?" I say, my friend Sean Carter makes them. He makes the most beautiful Enterprise and Starfleet and other models and ships that you've ever seen. And part of the magic of it is the origami chicken that it takes to make the inside of the box with like a good deal of peanuts. So I'm searching the Star Trek memorabilia and collectible items to always find things for that sort of thing too. Like we have gifted each other so many different Star Trek things here, but the Cuba reparations thing is false. They actually said they're going to repair their nation. They just talk so fast, everyone misunderstood it. Oh, Sean, thank you for the $5 Greenlandian greenbacks. Or should we call them should we call them 5 Cuban kilos? So,
Yeah, that sounds okay.
what if I grew ketamine down there?
Might have some problems with the ATF.
Is it a plant or is it a compound?
I believe it's a compound, but either way, I don't think the federal government's going to look too fondly on it.
Well, I mean, it's still going to be the Cuban government, right? Like they might not care.
They'll care about what they're told to care about.
That's right. I'm thinking they're going to be like, El Gringo, Senor Teag. Senor Teag, we want to talk to you about business. I'm thinking like something like the beginning of like, was it Clear and Present Danger where he's like taking batting practice?
That might have been.
By the way, Germ, I know that this is something that's probably going to be remembered closely in your heart. On this day in 2001, Randy Johnson at spring training threw a fastball outside to, I believe, I forget who it was, but it killed a bird. It blew right through the bird. Remember that one?
It's not the first time he did that. He was with Arizona at the time he did that. He did that several times when he was with the Mariners.
Was he trying to kill the birds?
No, I think the birds were trying to end it themselves. They were very depressed living in Seattle.
You know what? Good old Seattle, Seatown. Well, our Super Bowl champions, your woke owner would not go to the White House. Should he have given the players the choice to go whether they wanted to or not? And should President Trump just invite Sam Donald?
Yeah, he should invite the players directly.
I would like to see them there.
Yeah, I don't think it was the owner directly. She's pretty hands off on everything. I don't think she even realized that being invited to the White House is a thing.
Was it the ownership group or something? Like, I understand they're trying to sell them. What's that?
Yeah, it's the Paul Allen Foundation still technically owns it. His sister is the figurehead of that. And the NFL has been trying to force them to sell since he died.
Could the ownership group have been making a reasonable, offensive, but reasonable, cautious guess that there's no upside to this? We don't need to go to the White House. We already won the Super Bowl.
They know which way the wind blows around here, so they don't want to piss people off.
Are you saying it would have ruined your Super Bowl trophy parade? Would have been that bad?
Imagine an entire city full of people who like Mandami.
I don't even have to live in that. Why did you have to make me think about Mandami? You know, it was just like, this message brought to you by Zoran Mandami.
Because I can. The word decent doesn't apply to me.
Oh my God. I see Mandami and it's just like,
Yeah, imagine having a female version of him as your mayor.
Well, this whole League of Extraordinary American Mayors thing certainly is interesting. It's pretty far afield from entertainment, but I'll indulge it for a minute. Have you seen that like America's most activist and insane mayors are getting together for some sort of strange thing?
Yeah, my mayor is spending a good chunk of city money to go to something like that, and said they already blew the entire construction traffic construction budget on signs against ICE.
Well,
We
I mean,
have
it gets
a
cold
half
in the
dozen.
Pacific Northwest. Raise
Yeah.
plow, stay 500 feet behind emergency vehicle, snow emergency route. These are important signs. The money that they put into that was very important, Germ. I mean, you can't ignore the weather. New York had to put a lot of money into winterization too.
Other ICE.
Oh, really?
And we have about 6 construction projects going on right now that have to wait until next year to get done because she spent that much money on essentially propaganda.
The NYPD traditionally hasn't enforced federal law. They didn't enforce prohibition, so they probably were never going to go over the top on immigration. If you're a criminal and you're not supposed to be here, they will. They used to hand you over. Who knows if Ma'am Dammy will change anything? I do want everyone to understand. For the last few weeks, there's been so much money in bashing New York because of this Ma'am Dammy thing, and he's become increasingly more controversial every week, and he's not a charming guy. He ran against 2 terrible criminals and 1 terrible idiot who was asked to drop out of the race by Trump and wouldn't. So, like, please, some of these calls for collective punishment on everyone in New York, isn't that what communists are supposed to do, right? Isn't that why Ma'am Dammy is evil or bad, right? Because he's a communist. Like, isn't that why people are so upset with his rhetoric? It's because he's a vengeful communist.
It's not more about punishing you. It's you're going to have to take the hit for the good of everybody.
I think also he believes that there has to be like a leveling of the playing field by hurting the people who are the descendants of the people who he thinks were mean to people who came before him.
The people that came before him came in 1982.
I mean, people like him who were here before him.
Yeah, 1982.
I realize that I mean, couldn't the last King of Scotland been a little more efficient so that the people would have wanted to stay in his country? Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Forrest fucking Whitaker, for Zoran.
This is a personal massager.
I'm sorry. I had to break the Wait, hey.
She was attacked by what appears to be essentially a robot.
Gives that clip a whole new context now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A whole gross new context, but a new context. Let's move it back, veering sharply back to the Meghan Markle, Brie Larson, weird thing. I sound like Rachel Ziegler. This is so weird. So there's an Anna Nicole Smith like thing that's descending onto Meghan Markle. People are starting to compare the two to each other. I don't know why. One married a wrinkly old like raisin head and made him like a zillion bucks and was funny in one movie and sometimes looked real great. The other one is married to like what is it, Prince Harry, and no one cares.
Well, former Prince Harry now, and
he's Mr. Harry now.
Yeah. Well, he's Mr. Merkel.
Mr. Merkin?
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't it be a smart idea considering how much like they've messed up their credibility that maybe if they had another child were to be a girl, they should just name her Debbie Harry to try to draft off the goodwill?
Might as well. Nothing else has worked for him.
They just can't seem to get it right. His confessional came off badly. People had a lot of controversy about that, and there are people that had a couple of other problems with them. But that that thing disintegrated. I'm not sure if that's a like slightly. It's an older chap, but it checks out. I forget what we were referencing when we were talking about it. But I would say Starfleet Academy certainly seems to have disintegrated. Disintegrated like my chances of getting any reparations in Cuba. Let's be honest. I don't believe this, but so Meghan Markle working with Brie Larson, Jack Quaid, and I don't know who the other character is. The thing's called Close Personal Friends. It's being brought to us by MGM Amazon, Germ.
They'll make virtually anything.
They seem to have a film house now, and they seem to have brought on people to advise them. So, like, it could go either way here. It's like, however Lauren Sanchez wants it to play out seems to be what they're looking at here on this one. I mean, you tell me. I can't tell you for sure what's going on over there with Amazon because, quite frankly, the first few things they did were such a mixed bag. I enjoyed The Expanse. I couldn't stand The Rings of Power. And like we had everything in between with those, I guess, being the bookends of quality. Any thoughts on Prime Video stuff? Like that Batman thing we watched. That was like kind of average for them.
Yeah, unfortunately. But they just have so much money to throw around. I don't think they care. Any project that comes their way, they'll throw a few million at it just to make sure.
The Prime Video that I have, the only thing that's really worth watching on it is they do have some old History Channel World War II videos and documentaries that are really good, but they're from like 1993, so like 33 years old. So what are you going to do?
I don't think it really matters. They have 200 million members. That's
it is kind of hard.
$400 million a month. They can just, hey, there's a project. Here's a pallet of cash to drop on it.
They are bringing in money like never before. Who knows if the post office is going to go nuts on them again, like they did last time Trump was president. Anything could happen. Jeff Bezos proves that even if you're rich, you can still get conned because the Star Trek people had no reason to be given money for the Rings of Power. How could you make such a stupid mistake? But as we ponder who would make a show so stupid, who do you think will be the most standout like embarrassment in this one, Meghan Markle or Brie Larson? I feel like Brie Larson and Meghan Markle have flown so close to the flame for so long that like maybe neither one of them does anything insane. They just stay in their trailer and keep their freaking mouth shut.
I think they'll both be so insane it'll be hard to tell.
Brie Larson had a different attitude the last time we saw her. Did you catch that last time out for the Marvels where she's like, I don't know, maybe it might be time to move on. I don't know. I'll try. And they're like, are you going to be in the Avengers movie? She's like, do people even really want me in that movie? Is it something that people care about? We'll find out, I guess. I don't know. Like she was a lot more self-effacing and had calmed down quite a bit. Maybe she is whatever she was in 2018 when that movie. That movie is now a really long time ago, ain't it?
Yeah. Hopefully she actually has a handler now to help deal with her, let's call it quirks.
Or she calmed down enough and she got a little older and she got scolded by it and she saw herself on TV and had enough wherewithal to say it's a terrible look. Here's the thing. I don't know if she was the last thing to happen that was really just a publicity rolling, burning car wreck until Rachel Ziegler. And I think that the occurrence of Rachel Ziegler has sort of power washed off a little bit of the reputation of Brie Larson. And we see her in other movies that were better. Like her Marvel movies, yeah, they were shit. But like Kong Skull Island, good stuff.
Yeah, when she had a little bit more controlled career aspects. There were people around her telling her this is a good idea, that ain't a good idea.
Well, that happened with the Captain Marvel thing, right? the people around her were all the wrong people. It was like 8th generation super militant feminism, and they weren't able to sort of steer it to any sort of logical conclusion that had her doing anything but being combative to her Marvel co-stars, which looked anything but good, right?
Yeah, she is definitely getting bad advice on that, and hopefully she's back to getting the proper career advice.
The bad advice probably came from the top, the Victoria Alonso's and other type people associated with that weird feministic confrontational phase let's face it, it's not over yet. There's still a lot of that in the pipeline, but they're trying to pump the brakes on it. There's like not much coming out in the way of Marvel this year either, is there? Is there much in the way of Star Wars or Marvel? Did Ahsoka get kicked a year?
I'm not sure when Ahsoka got kicked to, but
I don't think it happens in 2026 anymore, right? Like it's January
No.
27 or holiday 26 or something like that.
something like that. Yeah, I believe they have that Starfighter project coming out this year.
Is that theatrical?
Yes,
That could
It
be
should be.
good. That could be good, and that could be a good movie that people would go watch, but I don't think it would change the fate of Star Wars. I think the only way to change the first thing you have to do is a contrition movie where Gina Carano gets to be heroic that's competently executed, and I don't think they can pull off a competently executed movie. No intent of theirs ever seems to go off right.
no, not for a very long time. But
Even
we'll
the
see.
cucking of people, even when they cuck somebody, Disney can't pull it off. Like they tried to cuck U.S. Agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier and that milieu, and he ends up being the accidental based hero.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid of them. But we'll see
It's-
how Mando and Grogu goes in May. So we'll just see what type of projects they can pull out of their ass after that.
Is it in May?
I believe it is the middle of May.
We've seen absolutely nothing of this fucking movie.
No, from what I heard, the Super Bowl release of the trailer went so poorly, they pulled everything and started rethinking.
With like at that point 12 weeks. We're down to 5, maybe 7 weeks. If they push it to Memorial Day, maybe we have 11 weeks. That's
It wouldn't be the
crazy.
first time. They've
So
gone a lot tighter on other projects.
We found out on Book of Boba Fett that they didn't have the wherewithal to care or
They were
execute a
editing
proper
that
shoot.
week to week.
They were about 2 weeks ahead of where we were watching. And that's why when the second and third week fell so flat, they were able to turn it around in week 4 and throw in an episode of Mando and try to up the quality and rescue what they had done so far. Think about this. After that weird 2-episode break where we did The Mandalorian, they essentially gave us what we would have to call upscaled Book of Boba Fett, and it was not much better. The episode's just shorter. I guess all you could do at that point is cut them down, and I think they lost a couple episodes.
Yeah, they pulled a couple episodes for the Mando stuff and decided to just wrap it up with the city battle.
Let me ask you a question as we get ready to segue topics here. Did you see the guy from Reacher getting into a fucking fight? Now, I hear that he's a weird, woke, wild man, and that also he's been diagnosed bipolar and talks about it.
I'm not sure about the bipolar thing being true, but he is on the woke side. But from the video I saw, he was 100% in the right to beat that guy's ass.
Hello, Sig. It's good to see Sig Valderson. From what we understand, Tom Hardy, I'm sorry, not Tom Hardy. Duh. They're kind of the same guy to behold, and they could play the same roles. Age difference, though. So Reacher guy, If you haven't seen Reacher, I don't know how to describe him. Maybe you want to take first shot at describing Reacher to our audience. Tom Richardson.
Yeah, I believe that's his name. Imagine what you'd think that Flash from Spider-Man would look like. Not the nerdy little Indian
Quarterback
kid
Flash.
yeah, anti-Venom Flash or Agent Venom Flash. That guy.
By the way, I might be with Sigvaldason on this one. Even though he was in the right in the altercation, apparently what he did was he was riding too fast through a residential neighborhood, frightening people. This guy knew exactly who he was taking on. They live across the street from one another. I did look for this one to simmer, but they live across the street or on the same block or in the same cul-de-sac in very close enough proximity that they're going to see each other there. And he's with his kids, Tom Richardson or whatever his name is. He's with his kids, the Reacher guy, and they're riding dirt bikes. They're doing nothing wrong. They're wearing their helmets and they're just sitting there and they're not saying or doing anything. And when the video starts, it's from someone's Nest Cam, so there's probably more of it, but Richardson, it's from his house. It's from the neighbor's house.
No, I saw one that he had his own, like a body cam.
I didn't see his body cam. I saw what looked like it was on the neighbor's house, looking down on his driveway where the altercation took place, and he was kicking the guy's ass.
Yeah, the guy had stepped in front of his motorcycle
and shoved him over.
He had gotten off. He spilled the motorcycle.
Which, fuck you, that's a lot of money, but okay.
The actor got up, confronted him. The neighbor pushed him twice, and then he proceeded to beat the crap out of him.
And the neighbor was outside polishing up his own Harley, and apparently Ritson was on a dirt bike, wreck riding with his kids, and revving the engine too loud in this guy's opinion and riding around too loud in this guy's opinion. I leave it to you. If you're riding too loud and it offends another biker, I guess we know enough about this biker code to understand if this guy understood. I heard loud pipes save lives. I don't know. Can you be a biker and object to other bikerish activity and have any validity here? Is this guy maybe going a bit too far in a few places, Germ? What do you think?
In my opinion, the guy was being a pussy and he attacked. So everything that happened to him was just self-defense.
You're going with Fafo on this one. He's the king of Fafo.
And for the rest of his life, his kids are going to point and laugh at him and say, you got your ass kicked by Reacher.
No, if you got your ass kicked by Vern Troyer, that your kids point at you and laugh. Getting your ass kicked by Reacher was like Dad stepped to Reacher, man. Dad didn't give a fuck.
He didn't do well enough for that.
No,
I don't care if you're going up against the Incredible Hulk. You have to do better than that. He thoroughly embarrassed himself.
Well, he also chose the part of the fight where he was getting the worst of it. Mr. Big Tough Guy. I wonder if he was polishing his bike up, maybe drunk.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
And they had words the day before about riding through the neighborhood. What do you think? Will these two go at it again?
No, I think he was thoroughly embarrassed, so he probably learned his lesson.
I'm going to give the audience a chance to vote on this one. What do you think? Reacher guy versus Reacher guy versus neighbor fight. By the way, I saw some interesting Senate confirmation hearing today where Rand Paul, I think this was for a couple of months ago, but non-Latino, according to Germ, Senator Rand Paul, he was interviewing a guy who had endorsed the attack that his neighbor pulled on him. Did you see that crazy back and forth?
Yeah, I saw it. Rand Paul, I used to like quite a bit, but I don't know. Lately, he has some type of persecution complex.
I just kind of find that you can't rely on him to be the sort of person that you go to lately. You have to look at it as a whole and you'd be like, this guy's been 50-50 or less his whole career. Sometimes he's just right on and tends to say things that people agree with.
Yeah.
He has a pragmatic streak. And once in a while, when he first started out, he had sort of like a little bit of an affinity for social media. He was at least fun and accessible. He would do like uploads onto YouTube or whatever during his failed presidential campaigns where he would just be out behind his hotel walking back and forth with his cell phone. Or he didn't do the angry car thing. It was a little more structured than that. But he was using, was it Periscope every day?
Something like that. It wasn't X or Facebook, but he was on something.
Yeah, I would not fight Reacher. Let's be honest. Reacher is a giant. He is what, 6'3"? It looks like. I mean, I only found out that Chuck Norris was between 5'8" and 5'10" the other day. I thought he was at least 6'2". But just the Reacher thing, I don't know who wants to get beat up that bad. It looks like basically asking to fight Reacher is just declaring free beaten season against yourself. What do you think, Jerm?
Yeah, especially when you're probably half his size.
I accidentally entered the poll. That poll didn't work, though. Didn't want to happen. That was weird shit. I blame the neighbor. It got one vote. I'm sorry. I'll try it again, I guess. Because I can cut and paste now. Let me take a look at our next story while I do this. Reconstructive surgery on our poll. F the poll. I don't feel like doing it. Okay. So NuTrek year one is still out there. We addressed this one a little bit. I'll talk about the assets in place. You talk about reaction to what we have. We do have a NuTrek Captain Kirk. He doesn't cost much money.
That's an understatement. He costs next to nothing.
He's not a very good fake Kirk.
And that's why he costs next to nothing.
He would probably be a better fake Bruce Campbell. Your vote counted for once. Yes, you had 100% of the say in Sigvaldus, it's all you.
There will never be a fake Bruce Campbell. It was bad enough they tried to have a fake Kirk. To have a fake Bruce Campbell, that would be... You would want the Army of Darkness to go after whoever did that. Even if Shatner, he's a legend, a giant in the field, but still, Bruce Campbell is Bruce Campbell. You can't fake that.
I don't think he has the acting talent to do it. I just think that there's a physical resemblance where he would have been a better person to go in there and try to maybe have him do an Army of Darkness thing. He had a manic energy to when he tried to be his William Shatner murderer character in that idiotic episode of Strange New Worlds. Their idea that they're going to have this end with him and Spock on the bridge of their NuTrek Enterprise makes me sick. But the party that we will have that night, huh, Jerem?
Yeah, that is the series finale for Strange New Worlds. I can almost guarantee it.
It's probably going to happen more like in the middle of Strange New Worlds, because I don't think they have the artfulness to do it, and I don't think they have the money for Anson Mount. So I think those last like 4 of those last 6 episodes will just be Spock and Ethan Peck out there as Ethan Peck Spock. Let me correct myself. Sorry, folks. Ethan Peck Spock and Paul Wellesley as Captain Kirk, and maybe they get Uhura. And I think Uhura is a Nepo hire as well.
Yeah, and they'll get themselves a McCoy.
They got their McCoy. It was very sad to see who it was. I wasn't happy with their McCoy. It made me very sad. You don't know who McCoy is?
I did not see that.
It's Thomas Jane, sir.
Oh,
One-time Punisher.
Yeah. That's a shame. I used to like him.
I was going to say, I really liked him. I liked him in The Expanse. I thought that his Expanse storyline was the strongest and most enjoyable of all of them. The story after that was still good, but never quite as good as it was with him. So too bad about that. I was a little bit disappointed to see that he was joining the cast, but my opinion is Thomas Jane will be in this for like 6 minutes. And also, I think that they somewhat greenmailed him, because remember, Thomas Jane was with Anne Heche. Remember?
That poor son of a bitch.
Well, he had to break up with her. He threw her out eventually, and like one of the things that he caught a lot of shit for was he filed for the 200,000 and change that she owed him against her estate. She, owed him a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, when she initially died, do you remember people blaming him?
I remember him going through the ringer a little bit.
And he didn't do anything wrong. He broke up with her like 8 months before. We don't know what happened to Anne Heche. There could be something wrong with all Mini Coopers. She could have had a fucking blowout. We never would have known it because her car burned so bad. Mini
Coopers tend to be angry.
What, burn really bad?
They're kind of like a Pinto. When they go up big. They might as well be made out of tissue paper.
It seems to have gone airborne. Did it hit the second floor of a house? It killed the person in the house, too.
Well, they are quite light, so yeah, they're going to get some air.
That's insane. How fast was she going? So crazy. I thought that she went off an overpass to hit the house up high, but she went out of control. She hit a house, and I think, what did she destroy? 2, right? The fire spread to the house next door, so it destroyed 2 houses, and at least one other person aside from her died. And Thomas Jane was just like, he waited the usual amount of time. He's like, I sure could use my $250,000 back. And he hadn't gone public. She had missed payments, and he hadn't gone public with it either. So to say that he did anything wrong is bullshit, but I don't really think Alex Kurtzman is the most sophisticated or nicest person. So I believe that Alex Kurtzman probably came at him with the angle of, you're on Me Too Island for what you did to Anne. You need to do something to make up and make amends for what you did. You need to show that you're woke.
And the proper response should have been, I want at least $250,000 an episode. And if you can't do that, shut
fuck you. I think the proper answer is, new phone, who this?
That
the same thing. The same thing Krimon opens every conversation with. New phone, who this? Guys, we're giving you a chance to vote again.
Situation, he has to go through those burner phones because they're looking for him.
They are looking for our friend Krimon. There's just something wrong with attempting to launch the polls today, but it looks like the poll does exist in real time. It still only has one vote, but it is restored. So go in there and try to express your Polishness. Be Polish. Germ, am I right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Polish, weird Rachel Ziegler has been popping up on the edge of the news. And it's weird that we would get her and Meghan Markle kind of circling around at the same time. I think Meghan Markle just married the wrong dude, is snake bitten, and is not that much more dramatic than the usual American self-obsessed actress. And she's just in the wrong family to be anything but like really boring. What do you think?
Yeah, it is quite a shock seeing the comparison between her and yes, she is just your average egotistical Hollywood diva. But she married
no better
a
or
guy
no worse.
Literally his only job in the world is to sit there, talk up the British state.
If what they said is true, his service in the war against the Afghanis who attacked us is very much appreciated, though. So I can't really hate him. And I would ask you, do you think it was Prince Chuck or his brother who made the "How black do you think your baby will be" comment about Prince Archie?
It was Andy.
It was. Is that what you heard?
It was Prince Andrew.
I heard that. That Wills went insane. I'm sorry. I heard that Harry went insane. That is a kooky question, now. I might have. That might be just a fucked up thing to say to somebody.
You got to remember who's actually saying it. He's the guy that got his title removed and is currently being prosecuted for events on a certain island.
Pleasure Planet. It hadn't happened yet. The events had happened, but the charges. He was still Prince Andy, and so it was him. I don't think Charles massively disapproved of the comments. Charles was like about to say it. What do you think?
I think Charles has been out to lunch since probably the early 2000s.
Let me ask you a question. Would you think it would be accurate, and would he feel disrespected were you to call him Sultan Charles?
He would take it as one of the highest compliments.
So you are a believer in what they say about his weird political stance?
Well, let's just say
a
he's
religious stance. It's not a political stance.
it is a religious stance, and it's
both.
Kind of odd, seeing as he is the legal head of the Church of England.
We don't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. We don't make this stuff up. Anyway, let's go close off that tangent and put that in the tangent parking lot for a moment while we talk about what's going on with the Warner Brothers and Paramount Plus merger. The money is again being filtered in and filtered together in a slow way where it's not being allowed to just surge together. It has to be in phases. Once again, I don't know if this is not to disturb the economy so people can find jobs, or just because people built something into the arbitration to give them exit time, or if the Paramount Skydance guys are just trying to be nice. But it was trading at about $9.19, which is 20 cents more than the price of a month of Paramount. So what do you think of that one, Jerm?
I believe they're taking it slow because they don't really want to do something they're going to have to do a major reverse on just in case this thing gets kicked back by the feds.
It's always possible. It could get kicked back by the feds, but I think that even Clownfish TV is verifying that it will happen now. Warner Brothers and Paramount are going to happen. But like you said, these legal procedures where they slowly, like, one of the things they couldn't do was get in charge of Paramount in time to head off the Kurtzman contract to pass, which is why that one's running for quite so long. The update on that would be what, about 12 months out? About we think 12 months from now he'll just be done. We said that 12 months after Paramount took control, we said that within 6 months of Paramount taking control, that he would be starting to get frozen out, and the signs would be pointing to him being gone, but no one would say anything. And we seem to be there, don't we?
Yes, we do seem to be there.
I see something at the edge of scanner range.
Admiral Teag, incoming super chat.
Holy smoke. Thank you, Sig Valdeson, for your very generous $5 Cuban Quatlu. The solution, releasing our Eldritch God. Perhaps I could persuade the Overlord to lend us the Cthulhu for the day and take out maybe a few of these alternate dimensions. What did you think of William Shatner wondering that weird stuff out loud after his birthday? Just an old man, like, waxing poetic? Because he made sure to say, I didn't see any of it except for one little piece that I thought was interesting enough.
Yeah, he's probably just waxing a little poetic and making sure Kurtzman knows whose opinion really matters. And it ain't Kurtzman.
It's not Kurtzman. Since we're talking about the UK and that sort of prompted Sig Valdeson's chat, did you hear the story about allegedly all buses in England now, or in London, all London Metro buses need, quote, deep puncture kits?
Yeah, that
they're
city's getting a little
slabbing people.
stingy.
So are they puncturing people over there a lot?
Well, they have quite strict gun laws, so people pretty quickly go to the pokey.
Considering the level of violence, maybe everybody having a gun right now is a bad idea in England, just releasing them to a bunch of people. I don't know. I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't, but like, that was always a fundamental difference in our societies. If these people, could you imagine if they had something with more imagine them with a ranged weapon. At least you could run away from the knife guy.
Yeah, the demographics of the city of London aren't exactly favorable for law and order at the moment.
Sig, help me out here. Was he disappointed that it was listed as woke because he didn't want woke Star Trek, or was he disappointed that it was listed as woke due to some misunderstanding of the phrase? And damn it, like, can we figure out what woke means? In entertainment, to be woke would mean, you tell me if I've got some kind of definition. And by the way, and thank you, Sig Valdeson, by the way. UK has very strong gun control. Archery would be good. Could you imagine just getting on you get on the bus and it's like the bus from Star Trek 6, but when the punk rock guy, like, instead it's like a guy playing like Call to Prayer music really loud on the box and everyone pulls out like a crossbow? What do you think?
That would be great for London.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't think they have it in them yet.
They're not quite there yet. But Caliph Charles, certainly Sultan Charles, don't think either one would bother him. I'll have a gun, please. So Gavin will take one. Gavin, you live there, so you would know better than the rest of us. Maybe it would be a solution. It's certainly, it seems to have just, been a conversation stopper here. The conversation around what constitutes what, technical definitions. I don't know if this country will ever solve that, right? There's some people who say assault weapon is this. Some people say it's that. Other people would, would you say that at this point it's moved into term of art, and that when you get legal, that's the only time it really matters? In public rhetoric, it's just people talking, or is that an important distinction too?
There is no actual definition for it.
And there's no definition for woke. So they exist in this same, these two opposite things exist in the same place. Help me understand what woke means. In TV production, I would think it would mean it started out as someone else's show, right? It was not yours at first. It's not your idea.
And no, it means more of you meet certain lists.
But what's the original woke project? You know what I mean? It's never your idea. Show me the original.
In that town, no one's idea is really their idea.
It's almost always a prequel to free yourself from the lore and underwrite it and subvert it, right?
Yeah. Or you stole it off of some busboy.
You do it in really, really low effort manners. And again, and thank you, Sigvalds. We're going to continue to say, Marxist agenda. Yeah, you know what? These agendas, like the radical sides of them, they do line up with Marxism. There's plenty of like people out there who are gay or whatever, like who just, like are normal and live a normal life. And some of them have probably been in Star Trek, before. I just kept it to themselves. Like Sulu would be a good example. He came out in what, like 2000? It seems like because he never shuts up.
It was sometime in the 90s, I believe.
But it wasn't the mid 90s.
Found out.
It was like late night. It was like 1997, 98, 99.
It was after all his movie appearances were done.
So the last movie's 96? Or 94? His last movie is Star Trek 6.
Yeah, he is in Star Trek 6. So
that's 1994?
2?
Okay.
94 is Generations.
You're right. My bad. Okay, so 92. So my thought would be, so far we have, it's not your idea, so unoriginal idea. I would say substantially changed. Race swapped, would that have to be in there? Race and gender swapped as one thing.
Race and gender swap.
Prequel? Does that have to be part of it?
No, not necessarily.
Name one that's not a prequel. Is it because Kurtzman only prequels?
Yeah,
you can't stand to do the lore. Clarice was even a prequel. How Clarice could have been out there as an FBI agent who is just in the field when she's in the academy in the movie, and Hannibal Lecter's out there active at the same time. Are you like rewinding her and like to a point where she was only supposed to be like 4 years old during Red Dragon, right?
I think they forgot the main character in Red Dragon.
The main character in Red Dragon is the Scott Glenn character from Silence of the Lambs, right? The guy from NCIS is, from CSI. William, what's his name? I forget his name. Peterson? William L. Peterson? Is that his name? I keep messing up his name. You know what I'm talking about. He's got blonde, curly hair. He had a successful career. He's in the first Michael Mann Manhunter movie. It's a real good movie, by the way, with the proper book accurate Hannibal Lecter. Here's the thing. With Silence of the Lambs, I don't know if there's that much love for it, but book accurate Hannibal Lecter is unwanted, isn't he? Fat American Hannibal Lecter, no one cares about. They want British, skinny, crazy Hannibal Lecter rewritten as he was after Silence of the Lambs, correct?
Yeah, there's only one Hannibal Lecter that people will ever recognize, and it wasn't the guy in that show.
Although that guy's a better Hannibal Lecter per the book.
Yes.
In every way. In every single way. All right, but
let's be honest, the book was horrible.
Manhunter is not Red Dragon, or that is the book for Manhunter. Red Dragon was not the most fantastic book.
Red Dragon is a god-awful book. I've read it. It is trash.
It's tough to read. I don't know about trash. I would say this. How about this for The Red Dragon book is brilliant in its concept and its story and its plot. However, that author is not a page-turning author who writes tough to read dialogue and does not do bringing you inside the characters' heads very well at all, which is important for a crime procedural. So he's got like plot down. He's like the perfect guy to take his book and make it to a movie, because the rest of the book, like, it does need to be added to. I got it.
That's his whole thing, is he was fishing to get a script when he wrote that.
He was always trying to be, so it's like Philip K. Dick. He was always trying to make movies and be a movie writer. He didn't want to be an author. It's not Michael Crichton.
Pretty much.
All right. And in Red Dragon, we have stuff as dumb as eating a painting and walking around like you're just fine. The painting was what, like 400 years old, 300 years old, some shit like that?
Something like that.
It was absolutely the stupidest thing ever. However, I would say the Red Dragon movie was an improvement on the Manhunter movie, which was an improvement on the Manhunter book. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely an improvement on any of the book versions.
What's the best movie? I'm going to say Manhunter. I like Manhunter best. It's just, the pacing is it's tighter, it's shorter, it's more point of view, and it's over faster. Red
Actually,
Dragon,
out of all of them, for the movies, Hannibal is actually the best, because you dive into Hannibal a lot more. Anthony Hopkins does a much better job in that one than he did in the first one.
And it didn't matter that it was Julian Moore.
No, because you're just watching Anthony Hopkins.
And the movie was written around him. And we have, was it Andy Garcia, our bad guy, in that one too? Right? Our not so good FBI agent?
It might have been.
Yeah, getting his brain poked. I think it was a younger Andy Garcia. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
All right, let's see. Sigvald's showing police women taking on people 2 to 3 times their size effortlessly equals woke. I like actors in The Rookie, but every time I see a female cop acting like Wonder Woman or Mighty Isis, I'm like, bullshit. I guess the extended headcanon is she's fighting an out-of-shape drug addict who doesn't train. I don't know. If I was writing a show about police officers and one of them was a woman and she had to do takedowns, she would be in there with that club. What do you think? Hey, Jason Love. I'm thinking of Ray Liotta, and you are right. You're right. Thank you. We have the best chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Jason Love, Doctor Who. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
He has a good point about The Rookie. Finian, great in that show. The acting is great, but there is way too much action for these 90-pound women going after 6'4" biker guys.
So could it be fixed by 2 of them at once doing takedowns with like batons? Makes sense enough, right? Whack the guy right in the kneecap and he goes down. The other chick just whacks him in the head.
Give him a damn taser.
Or give him the old wood shampoo, as my dad used to call it.
Pretty much anything than what they actually do.
So what are you saying? These little women who are good looking and petite just like throw the guy down?
They are routinely arresting maybe guys 2.5 times their size.
Arresting's fine if they have a gun on them and the guy's afraid to move and one cop's got like, control from behind and you know what I mean?
It's one-on-one.
I have seen successful NYPD 2 female duos. It's worked out. I don't know if they routinely do it all the time, but I've seen it happen. I've seen 2 female patrolmen working together as partners, and it didn't seem to be a problem. In fact, in the situation I walked by, they were able to de-escalate it and get in there to give someone a save shot. So they saved a life. I'm not saying it was because they were women. I'm saying they were good at what they did. They had to make it out of a real police academy, though, right? Ma'am Dammy wouldn't want that kind of efficiency, but they were so long ago. These wonderful police women are now retired. So, good for them. They're like Wonder Woman and Power Level. Are you saying that it's two different shows? It's like a good show, and then all of a sudden it becomes ungrounded for the fight scenes?
But yeah, a lot of it.
Could we call that Miami Vice syndrome, Germ?
Well, in Miami Vice, they weren't afraid to shoot people.
They were shooting way too many people way too often for them to be believable was the problem in Miami Vice. But they were also beating up a lot of people. Miami Vice, I'm up to the middle of season 1. And the show, the ratings are in. People now understand what it means to be a Miami Vice show. They're trying to do what they can to make the show have personality. But what I realized was the first few episodes are just lifted straight off Starsky and Hutch. And who would ever think that Dick Wolf touching that show would be the thing that incinerates it? But he ends up on SVU. On Law and Order. Then that leads to SVU.
Yeah, led to a lot of good cop shows for him.
I didn't put this one into the very successful ones. I didn't put this one into the talking points for the show, but we did check in on it. We saw some more. We don't know if we saw this audience. The upload just didn't do great. The Paramount uploads, we have to figure out how they're going to go. It seems like there's interest in the first episode, and it doesn't really matter if the show is good or not. The interest is going to go up and down. Thanks to everyone who joined over the Yellowstone stuff. And Paramount this week was a very successful show. Checking in on Marshals, Germ and I had the same feeling. Wow, episode 2 was interminably boring, and I didn't care. Germ, you care to piggyback off my point?
Oh, you pretty much covered it. Extraordinarily boring and
Illogical.
I can't remember any. Is so boring to the fact I can't remember it.
I'm going to remind you of something that happened
the entire
in the show.
episode, and all I can tell you is Casey was there.
Mighty Casey at the plate. He was in fact there. Casey is whatever. He's all charged up. He is now a U.S. Marshal, but you watched a lot of Yellowstone. He has intimate knowledge of exactly what happened to their biggest cold case, their ex-governor who was killed. He is also party to the murder of their second biggest cold case, which is their former attorney general who was killed. They have no reason to let him be a marshal. The marshal's boss, Casey's boss, has a visit from his boss, who is basically McLeod the marshal from the old TV show with his cowboy hat and his corduroy jacket. He's wearing a Dennis Weaver jacket, and he's got like the cowboy hat on and the marshal badge. He's like, I don't think Casey Dutton should be a marshal. And I'm like, you're absolutely right, sir. And then he says what I just told you. And then there's stuff that he doesn't know. Like, what's Casey's body count? Like 15?
Just a little bit higher than that.
Under 20?
Well, half of it's classified, being overseas and being
discount all people killed in the line of duty. Everyone that he killed for his country, everyone that he killed when he was a Navy SEAL doesn't count. That was not murder. How many people has Casey murdered as a Dutton?
Well, there's around 4 or 5 in the first season alone.
And there's 5. There's really 4 seasons. Season 4 is 2 parts. We watched part 2 of season 4 again, or season 5, whatever you want to call it. And I thought it was really good. Better than anything we've gotten so far from Yellowstone Marshals. So when Yellowstone Marshals boss of bosses walks in on Casey's boss, Casey, first of all, he tells his kid, well, looks like you're going to be pretty busy and I'll never see you. And he's like, yeah, Pa, I'll do my best. Then he goes by his wife's grave and just sort of looks wistfully at it. And we see him looking at it, and he could be looking at anything. And then they just move on with the story. They just move on. So as you said, they cut all the Yellowstoneness out of it, all of it. I now think that it's very possible they didn't get that actress because they told her she would be in 5 minutes of every episode and maybe once every 3 or 4 episodes. It wasn't enough of a part. What do you think?
It is possible.
Show is trending away from the direction that it was ever going to have any Yellowstone-ness to it. We need to forget Casey was a Dutton. I don't see it coming back into the show. The show doesn't seem to be built around his Duttonness, or it's lost in team world building right now, and it's boring as fuck the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. But I'm holding out hope for the Dutton Ranch one that starts in May.
Now, I saw this discussion on Reddit. The Dutton Ranch has been moved in location. They're not in Montana. Apparently, in the trailer, they took pains to say, we now live in Texas.
I missed that part.
They're going to live in Texas, and my theory is this, you tell me. Dutton Ranch and 6666 are going to be rolled into the same fucking show.
It might be at this point.
6666, we have heard, or 46s as it's called sometimes, we have heard that Taylor Sheridan is way too busy. We have heard that his ranch is way too real. And we have heard that he has had to reconsider what's going on in his career trajectory since this thing with Paramount didn't work out. Now, Paramount did fuck up. Lots of mofos go into that train station. A lot of shows are going to the train station too. They can't really pull off any Yellowstone-ness to Marshalls. It would have been nice if they wanted to do it, but now it's starting to feel like they never planned to keep it. They're just like, we're going to jump this character off of Yellowstone, wash the Yellowstone off of him, and just have him be one of this team of like Marshalls. And it's like, the dynamic is very much like the movie The Fugitive among those Marshalls, isn't it? Except they let each other talk.
Yeah, it almost seems like they had a Marshalls show pre-made, and
or they wanted
the
network asked him for one. Is what it's we see.
Yeah,
I think it happened. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
there was an existing formula show they called Marshalls, and they decided just to throw the Yellowstone spinoff on top of it.
Thank you for the verification there, Sig. Yeah, they wanted to make sure they, like all that talk at the end of the Yellowstone show about how they had a place on the Yellowstone land and they would never leave. They changed their mind about that one. It's going to be for the good of the show because they always shoot in Texas anyway. It's going to keep production costs down. That was a major problem with Paramount. And the best thing we could hope for is that Marshalls becomes a decent crime procedural and that people who like those kinds of shows enjoy it because Casey is being wasted. He could be in any other show. The thing is, he could walk off of Marshalls and on to Dutton Ranch, even though his thing is he doesn't like the rest of the Duttons too much, does he?
He's okay with Beth and Rip.
He's okay with Beth and Rip, but the thing is, he feels like bad things happen when they're all together. That was definitely clear, right?
Well, yeah, the last time they're all together, his father and then his brother both
kind of had to go out.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't use Kevin Costner in that final Yellowstone half season. When they showed what happened while Casey was Casey does a great job. Taylor Sheridan set him up to be a good detective. They're not going to use it, or they haven't so far. He does like some really, like, it was rather believable when they ask him, like, how many guys would you need to do this? And first we see it explained by the merc who does it. And then when Casey explains what he thought was done, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Casey nails it. And I thought the whole thing, even though they didn't have Kevin Costner in it, one, he was a big pain in the ass. And two, that scene where they grab him, choke him out a little bit, turn him upside down, inject him through the bottom of his foot and do all that other stuff and then toss him in the bathtub. That was pretty badass. That was a badass and scary, creepy scene. What did you think of that as far as from Yellowstone?
It was pretty good. I don't know about creepy, but
it was. He was jumped in his sleep and injected with like South American frog venom in the bottom of his foot, bro. That's creepy. And then they put a gun in his hand and they had to make it look like he self-deleted. The only thing creepier would have been holding him at gunpoint and beating him around the head and face until he wrote his own self-deletion letter.
That would have been a little bit harder without Kevin Costner actually there.
Put a bag over his head like you always do when you beat on Landman. But you're right. And they weren't going to give him one red cent. So you didn't think it was that creepy? I thought it was really a creepy death. I thought it was effective too. Maybe it's just the way they filmed it and the way Casey talked about it.
It is effective. I didn't find it creepy.
I thought when they grabbed him from behind and choked him out, it was creepy. All right, you know what? We'll agree to disagree. No big deal. That one, the first ever to be parked in the Tangent parking lot. We don't care. It doesn't matter that much. The Madison, we were wrong. They didn't know for sure. They changed their minds. It didn't work out. Kurt Russell might have changed his mind. It might not have been what he wanted. Early rumors that Don Johnson is connected to the project make a lot more sense now. You watch a little bit of any of the Madison? You did, right?
I watched a little bit of the first episode and have no desire whatsoever to go back.
You saw enough for me to be able to discuss with you some of the weird stuff I saw. Why in a show where they're always brutal and they've showed things like the Joker wolf being ritualized after it killed the nurse, how come we catch and release fish painfully, painstakingly, and boringly? We had like 1 minute worth of story in that first 15 minutes. We really did.
Yeah, it's for the life of me, why would they care? I know catch and release is a thing, but we don't really need to see it.
Just say it. We don't need to see him lovingly putting the fish back in the water. Or is that what this show is? Is this some kind of version of like Home Fixer Upper, where his house is the worst ever fishing shack and it's just a dump? Meets Green Acres, where she's left New York and now she wants to live a rustic life, and she's gonna, like, you know, whatever, stop shaving her armpits, shit in the outhouse, and slowly build that house into a livable place. How she gets utilities there is beyond me, although I guess it has electricity.
Well, I guess, but why anyone would care is beyond me.
All she needs is plumbing. I guess an artisanal well will do it. But yeah, this is what goes on in the Madison. The Madison is the northern river that's north of the Yellowstone River. So it's related, but it's not a sequel. It has nothing to do with Yellowstone. Maybe they'll run into some of the same people. I don't think so, though. If you like beautiful panoramic drone shots of Michelle Pfeiffer's double walking across beautiful rivers and streams, that's there for you. If you want to see Michelle Pfeiffer up to her neck in water in a bathtub with rose petals, close her eyes, and trip out to the Force ghost of Kurt Russell, who we see his face as he says one word, or sometimes his face, and then it cuts away as he starts speaking. He starts to speak, but we don't see him form the word. The word happens after we cut away. And then someone walks away from our point of view with their back to us into a room with a translucent wall and talks to Michelle Pfeiffer, who we can see perfectly in her bathtub. And she's just talking to his Force ghost by communicating with it through her bathtub. This is fucking boring. He talks about fishing. Fishing is the most obvious surface level metaphor for his business life in New York, eating him alive. He's trying too hard to fish. He's trying too hard in life. He's trying to support 3 kids. He doesn't, like, no one can be bothered to get a job. And you didn't see the street crime, right? Germ? Oh, I got a private chat. Oh, Germ had the BRB. Okay, guys. So there's a street crime in the Madison where our heroine, one of our female point of view characters, the college age daughter of Michelle Pfeiffer and Kurt Russell, gets like punched in the face and has her purse stolen and gets like thrown to the ground real hard. And she's like a little slip of a girl. And when she gets up, she's all bloodied, she's dazed, and she walks over to the cops, salt and pepper cop team, Crockett and Tubbs, And she says, I just got robbed. Oh my God. And they're like, okay, describe him. And the guy who did it was black. And she just doesn't say anything. And the black cop rolls his eyes and he goes, what color was his complexion? And she was like, I don't want to say. And the black cop goes, was he dark like me? Or was he light like him? And she's like, this is racist. And she runs away. And the cops like phone it in, like, weird guy running with a blue hoodie. He's like 30. And they're like, they roll away doing the best job they can for this crazy woman who has these terrible ideas. So that's your youngest daughter. Then you've got a middle daughter. That character has a serious case of non-development and middle daughter syndrome. Now, we're set up to not like the youngest daughter. She is a dick. Then what I thought is the oldest daughter is the son's wife. She's got a lot more going on than the son. The son is a loser, and the actor slightly resembles Jamie. He's some kind of corporate guy. He's corporate like his dad. I don't know if he's ever gone fishing. I so don't care about this guy. He is the biggest nothing burger of a character. It's boring. And if this show goes anywhere, I think it's going to be awards bait. I think they'll give Michelle Pfeiffer just enough to do so that she can qualify for at least a nomination, if not a win. It's a Taylor Sheridan show with a limited amount of episodes. The early rumors about Don Johnson being connected to it, because he has a similar energy to Kurt, I can see that it's possible, not definite, but possible that he comes back. Oh, I'm sorry, that he comes on the scene. Maybe he lives in that area. Maybe he's someone who had a similar story to her husband. All I can tell you is in real life, he's from, I believe, Kansas. He went to Kansas U. He's a Jayhawk, and he played football there. Don Johnson was fathered by a 19-year-old father and a 16-year-old mother in like 1961 or 1958 or something like that. Maybe earlier, maybe like 1940. He's like 75 years old now. I know that when Don Johnson was 30, he was 35 in 1985. So I guess he's born in 1960. Parents super young. He's dirt poor. I think I hear my co-host has returned.
I'm back.
Germ, I just described the Madison, the way I said it was, we're set up not to like the youngest daughter. In episode 2, she goes to take a shit in the outhouse and Hornets attack her.
I think I'm on the side of the Hornets.
She's an asshole. I think what's going to happen is the family will leave or move to town. Michelle Pfeiffer will like do a home fixer-upper on the fishing shack, and the contractor will be Don Johnson, and she'll fall in love with him. Something fucked up like that, like a fucking cheap Murphy Brown transplanted plot. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And in about 15 to 30, I guess 15 episodes, 12 episodes a season. So ended in about 24, 25 episodes. Michelle Pfeiffer gets her like award. She looks so much better than she does in Ant-Man and the Wasp. We'll talk about that for just 1 minute. I saw Michelle Pfeiffer in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I said, "There's no case for marriage. I give up. Catwoman is got a beer belly." You're one who actually saw the movie. You're saying the suit didn't fit, and we must have quit. She never looked that out of shape.
Yeah, she does look her age, but
she's not out of shape.
Yeah, she is not out of shape. She was just in the costume wasn't fitted for her.
They were trying to do the usual Disney thing of uglying up a beautiful woman. Not cool when Michelle was like 59 making that movie. Like she was still, within the sexy area range where she could have been beautiful. They didn't let her do it. That's a shame. And then Michael Douglas quits all Disney movies, and so is Paul Rudd after that. I mean, that must have been a fun shoot. So Michelle Pfeiffer still looks great. Also, she has better choice of clothing than a lot of other women her age. She wears a pair of jeans and her husband's flannel. And sometimes when she's not wearing that, she's just wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt. She dresses like a rich woman who's out on a field and stream expedition. She's got the money to do it. The clothes look good on her. She still can fill out a pair of jeans. Great. It's a lot less uncanny than younger Demi Moore. I thought she looked a lot better than younger Demi Moore. Was it because she chose not to show her legs off, not to show a lot of skin?
Yeah, probably.
She did dress a lot better, didn't she?
Just
And
one
more
correction. It's Quantum Mania that you're thinking of, not Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Sorry, Ant-Man Quantumania. Where Ant-Man's not even really part of it. It's about his daughter, his girlfriend, and his
mother-in-law.
And his mentor's father. Yeah, his mother-in-law. That movie sounds like such ass that I've never watched it. I've heard that what happens in it is deeply woven into the events of subsequent MCU stuff. I heard it's actually kind of an important MCU movie.
It was until Kang ended up getting himself arrested.
I saw Jonathan Majors' movie with Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell's charisma couldn't save that piece of shit. It seems like it's going to be a good movie. That 7-minute combat scene with the Jets versus the MiGs, I'm sorry, the P-51 Mustangs versus the MiGs, that's your whole fucking movie, as far as I could tell. I fell asleep twice watching that movie, Wingmen or whatever it is, with Glenn Powell and John Majors. That movie sucked. Did you see it?
Yeah, I don't believe so, but Jonathan Majors really hasn't had any luck when it comes to major roles.
Sucked. He did the same thing he did as Kang. He has like affected speech, and he's like comes across a guy who's not sure of himself. As a fighter pilot, you know, the Tuskegee Airmen wasn't a bad movie, and neither was Red Tails. Red Tails arguably lacked substance and was George Lucas doing a homage to World War II propaganda movies and deliberately going scant on character with no method acting. I don't know what he was thinking with Red Tails. Tuskegee Airmen, there's 2 iterations of that movie. I kind of find all of them to be pretty good and have pretty good combat that at least kept the movies going. This, not so much, right? We didn't care.
Not really.
We didn't care. So much for that one. That's pretty much Paramount Plus this week. As far as Star Trek goes, we'll circle back. NuTrek year 1, I don't see it happening. I think it's empty Kurtzman rhetoric. He's not allowed to make anything. They're not allowed to tell him to shut up. More or less the situation as we understand it.
Yeah, both sides are just waiting out the other, and when everything's
he's antagonizing
done,
the shit out of them.
Yeah. When the time comes, they're both gonna tell each other to fuck off and go their separate ways.
It's entirely possible that in 2033, when 7 years passes by, David Elson's like, I got a few fucking things to say about Alex Kurtzman. That's the way this seems to be going. Because Alex Kurtzman can do and say whatever he wants except film more Star Trek. He can agitate, he can confuse the brand, and he has some really horrible episodes in the tank there that we think they have to show. Dropping them all at once still seems to be the way to do it. Dropping them all at once. Grok says it's going to drop them week to week. Grok trains off Reddit. A lot of Reddit is poisoned with NuTrek propaganda. That's the only place they can get their narrative going, and that's how they try to fool Grok. So say we all. What do you think of that theory?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They try to fool all AIs by flooding Reddit with fake bullshit and then boosting that bullshit on Reddit. And Reddit could go away tomorrow like Tumblr did. So someone's keeping that alive, in my opinion. What do you think? Such a mean fucking place.
Well, yeah, it is. It's the cesspool everyone says Exos.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's also, it's tightly corporately controlled. The mods are power mad maniacs, and the corporations have taken over the sites. But on the positive side of that, guess who has posting permission in the Yellowstone community, the Yellowstone verse Paramount page?
Congratulations.
You know what? I wrote them a letter saying that I review objectively Paramount Plus products and that I am a Paramount critic. And within 2 days, they gave me permission to post. We'll see if I have to re-ask on every post, but they approved my post. They hadn't been approving them, so I asked to post this time. And this one went up after 3 days, which is about how long it takes to turn around a battleship. It couldn't help our review much of the second week of Marshall's. The second Paramount this week. What's it going to have to be? Paramount this month, basically? Some variation on monthly Mountain Report.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Non-Magic Mountain Monthly. Something like that. I've been good with the branding. I'll come up with something. I think that maybe the one thing we have to look forward to with Paramount Plus is they have a big merger going on, and we're going to see HBO Max and Paramount Plus merge. I, for one, am hoping that Paramount Plus will remain a standalone service because I think it's so inexpensive that it delivers you first-run entertainment. A lot of it's a whiff, but it looks like if they fix Star Trek, if it goes up to even 12, to have what they give you now from Paramount Plus is pretty good. I don't know if you know what they give you.
They have quite a bit. I know
MMA.
Paramount has, they have the MMA, they have NFL.
AFL. They have the AFL conference of the NFL.
Yeah.
Home games of AFL teams.
Yeah, the same basic thing that CBS Network has.
And Fox.
Fox does the NFC.
Right. Just the same basic kind of deal. They do a lot of AFC teams, but it's when the AFC team visits the NFC stadium.
Yeah.
They have the TV rights seem to be divvied up over home stadium. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
If we get stuck with one $30 service, but we can watch all football, is it worth it?
Not for me personally, because then I'd be paying $30 a month to watch one game a week.
I'm going to let you have some fun now. I made you watch NuTrek, did I not?
Yes, you did.
In the real world, if I had done something like that, I would owe you a free shot in the face where you got to punch me in the face once for every episode you watched, wouldn't you?
Yes, preferably with a Louisville Slugger.
All right. Well, it's funny you should say that. What do you have to say to the thieves who made off with the Yankee hat that I get? The 1996 World Champion New York Yankee hat that I bought off of New Era that I got at half price and free shipping. A fucking $60 hat for $39. It's still piled on some tax. Thank you, New York. But what do you have to say to the thieves who stole that out of the UPS at Kesby, New Jersey? I now am out the money. I have to file a UPS claim, and I can't get the hat. What do you have to say to the person who stole my hat?
Your Venmo payment is on the way.
Fuck you. I was at the game where the 1996 New York Yankees won it all. So, yeah, Admiral Teague's Yankee hat stolen. It's an outrage, I tell you. I'm going to try to read the poll. Yeah, here we go. All right. The poll is 53 minutes ago. We only got about 9 votes on this one. Reacher guy versus neighbor fight. Reacher guy's fault, 22%. Neighbor's fault, 44%. You're all wonderful people. I love all of you. It looks like most people think the neighbor is just a fucking flaming dick. Maybe he should have called the police and filed a report when dealing with a gigantic gorilla of a man. Or was that like some kind of weird version of suicide by cop?
It almost have to be. The guy is literally half the size of him. So
rage disorder?
I don't know what the hell he's thinking he's going to do.
Trying to get caught on video so he could sue? Or he's a rich guy that no one says no to? Because Reacher's got money.
Yeah. Well, they both have money. It's not like more money is gonna make the broken jaw feel any better.
I don't know if he broke his jaw. I didn't see how bad he beat him up. It looked like he was punching him on the top of the head, but we caught it in the middle from what I saw. the Reacher guy was wearing a body cam vest, so he knew his neighbor was a fucking real dick. Also, like, he had been like ATVing or something like that. And he was driving, I don't know if his bike was street legal, but whatever. He lives in like this really wealthy suburb. There's like, you go and you have Miss Betty Bowers, world's best Christian, go there with a bunt cake and ask you nicely not to do it anymore. And he walks his bike past the edge of the cul-de-sac for the rest of the time, right? Or coasts past your house without gunning the engine just to try to keep the peace. That's how this works in really upscale neighborhoods where Reacher guy lives.
Yeah.
So this guy's rich. He lives in the same neighborhood as Reacher guy. Paul Richardson. I think that's his name. Thomas Richardson, whatever it might be. So he attacked the Reacher guy for riding his dirt bike the wrong way. That's literally what his damage was on the Reacher guy. He was looked to be about the same height, but yeah, no one's as big as that guy. That guy's job is to be jacked. And here's the thing. How do you get the Reacher guy to hit you? The Reacher guy had a scandal. It's not this one. He didn't hurt anyone in his scandal. His scandal, and he's so fucking woke playing Reacher that, like, when he gets interviewed, he has to say things about how sorry he feels that Reacher fucks women, uses guns, and beats people up. It's not a terrible scandal. It's just that he is woke as all get out or is willing to say it. Germ, isn't that basically the record on him?
Yeah, from what I can remember.
He's not a dick. He doesn't hate people. He's not like militant, but he's just like, I feel terrible that I have to use a gun. I feel horrible that I had sex with that beautiful woman on the show and got all that money to lay in bed naked with that hot actress. Is season 2 of Reacher as good as season 1? Season 1 was really good.
No, I didn't actually watch season 2.
It's not that compelling of a show, is it? The Reacher 1 story almost feels like, okay, he's going to be like the Hitcher and just go from town to town. Hey, Power Rangers, Donnie.
I really didn't find it that much better than the Tom Cruise movie. He's just a plumped up version of Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is just really poorly cast for that role. He's too small to play Reacher, supposed to be a giant. That Reacher's book accurate, at least. Let's catch up with the chat here a little bit. Donnie jumped in there. Thank you. Singing. We love doing it. One day we'll have a show only on Rumble where I'll just sing for you guys. Happy Hannah Montana Day. Hope everyone is well despite the passings of Chuck Norris, Nicholas Brendan, and Ted Nichols. I don't know. Is Ted Nichols the cartoon music composer? Yeah, he wrote a lot of great stuff. Germ, what were the songs he's known for? Josie and the Pussycats and the Flintstones? Biggest ones?
I want to say yes. I don't know offhand.
Are you surprised I knew that?
Yeah, pretty surprised.
I'm getting better at this job, aren't I?
Just a bit.
Have you? Is it just me, or am I talking slower tonight?
Yeah, you've controlled that pretty well.
Yeah, tonight's experiment is working fairly well. So Power Ranger Donnie says, the pet we lost, yes, Chuck Norris, Nicholas Brendan, and Ted Nichols. Nicholas Brendan from Buffy, they're saying natural causes. Is alcoholism natural causes?
No,
he died from a disease or something? Is that their opinion?
Whenever the liver failure, because he did allegedly quit.
Yeah, when he couldn't fucking lift the bottle off the table anymore. Fucking liver. You know how hard it is to do that? He was younger than me.
Oh, he did Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones. Also Johnny Quest.
Yes. Wow, Scooby-Doo is memorable. That's a home run. So then Donnie goes on to say, and also despite Star Trek Starfleet Academy ending season 2, and despite CBS News Radio closing down for good, I didn't know about that one. You're talking about the end of something like 100 years of broadcasting, Germ. Wow. That signal went silent after, I guess 100 years is a good run.
Yeah, especially considering it was basically a zombie network for the last decade
20.
or so.
Ever since the Redstone sale, like went back and like ever since Sumner Redstone died in the middle of trying to get rid of this, and his daughter thought maybe she would try her hand at it. She had the right to do it, but it turned into a hell of a story. I didn't know about that. And Admiral Teague, 3 of 3, says, I neither hate nor love SFA, despite some aspects I enjoy, but I do agree on how boring season 1 finale was. You know what? I really just don't think they could have ever saved that. They weren't able to make their characters interesting. Their budget constraints were too tight. I'm going to throw something at you, Jeremy. You tell me how this hits you. You're pretty good with the money and the estimates. After the salaries of the Academy Award people, with everything else, they were only spending $100,000 an episode, just about.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Couple $1,000,000 for special effects in episodes 1, 6, and 10. And we think that they picked out. I think 6 has some special effects.
It does have some special effects, but they are significantly cheaper than 1 and 10.
It might be the only ones that they actually did, though, because we keep speculating that someone made cutscenes in a story and pitched a video game and no one wanted to back it, and Star Trek bought it. Because the fight makes no sense. We also, for whatever reason, like we throw the Athena inside some space cancer for a while there, and then it leaves. It's able to go anyway and leave the space cancer. Hey, Iris is still here. Iris, it's good to see you, my friend. I watched
that from somebody.
They absolutely did. It was from Rise of Skywalker. I watched Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special on Disney. It was amazing and way better than the Starfleet Academy finale. Did everyone reprise their roles? I would think it'd be 20 years since it ended. The debut seems like it would be longer ago. How old is she now? Like 40? She really is like 40.
Yeah, she's almost 40.
I take issue with her vocal choices, not her singing ability. I think she can sing well. I thought she did a terrible Wish You Were Here. And I would think that by now she would be more instinctual, but maybe music has evolved beyond my ability to judge what a good singing performance is, because only guy out there that I think I can even stand, and he's not really so great and doesn't seem to write his own stuff, is Youngblood. Have you heard Youngblood?
I've heard of him.
He's modestly cohesive. His songs hold together. His originals are decent. They're not terrible. They're about as good as B-side Ozzy songs. So there's something to them, but he's not like an A-side Ozzy song original writer yet. And he just won't wear a shirt. And he's weird as hell. But
oh wait, that can't be true.
What?
Miley Cyrus is only 33.
That could be
that
true.
Is a rough 33.
She got a lot of surgery young. I guess he's right then. It's 20 years since the first episode and she was 13. So Hannah Montana, 20 years ago. Am I so old that I was already like 30 when Hannah Montana was on? That's some crazy stuff. Pop culture milestones marked here. Earlier this morning marked 9 years since Power Rangers movie reboot debuted in cinemas. My number one aspect, the score by Brian Tyler. And he says hello to Sig. John's here. You've been building your Lego shuttle and listening in the background. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I hope that build goes well. That's an expensive Lego. I think it's at least $400 or $500. That's an expensive Lego, but have fun with that. You take the land, rent out the land, pay the taxes with the money, profit the rest. Huh. I mean, yeah. Alan Richson got ahead of the steroid allegations by having his PR team put out an article about how he needed testosterone replacement therapy, legal roids. That makes sense on how giant he is. And thank you for giving us his exact name. Planet X97. It's great to see you here. Planet X87. I'm sorry. It's good to see you here. 87 was a very good year. And Iris the Captain Kirk. Iris the Captain Kirk. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Iris. Is it Portuguese? JT is not here today, but he'll be back on Saturday. It's good to see you. I believe he had an issue with booze. Oh, Richardson was, yeah, that's right. He got diagnosed with bipolar disorder because he was drinking too much. Was that what happened?
I'm not too sure about that. I know he
Miley
was drinking, and then I don't know if he was forced to stop or chose to stop.
He definitely has a bipolar diagnosis. He shared that one. I can't believe that Miley's only 33 years old. It's because she's been famous for so long. That was like when Drew Bledsoe turned 40 and you're like, wait a minute, how could, oh yeah, it's because he's been in the league for 18 years.
It's not so much that, but she looks rough for 30.
She's had a bunch of surgery. She always kind of had blotchy skin. Hannah Montana had a makeover, and professional makeup artists. I've seen Miley Cyrus look both good and bad. It's day to day. And also she can fuck up her hair real good.
It doesn't help that her daddy's Billy Ray.
I couldn't stand Billy Ray and that whole achy breaky heart thing. And people comparing him to Elvis Presley. I was like, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Maybe Conway Twitty you can compare to Elvis, but come on.
Fat, bloated, dead on the shitter Elvis, yeah.
Yeah. And on the Elvis topic, it was nice for those who don't know to find out that it was complications from gastro bypass surgery and not depression, drugs, and self-deletion for Lisa Marie. I still would have wanted her to be okay, but to know that she didn't do it, she played no hand in it, and that the weird behavior was because of what was going on with her blood chemistry from the failed surgery, and she just didn't. Her doctor missed it. It's really sad. Planet X97 likes Conway. Conway is a great singer.
Yeah. And you shouldn't be comparing him to Billy Ray Cyrus. That is an insult.
No, what I'm saying is he could be compared to Elvis, not Billy Ray. It's okay to compare Conway Twitty to Elvis. No, that's the truth. I mean, they were comparing Billy Ray Cyrus to Elvis. They're saying he was the next Elvis. I had to live through that.
Yeah, I lived through that too, unfortunately.
You remember what it was like? You were a kid, but I was, in college. I'm sitting there watching MTV, and you would get a Nirvana video followed by the Achy Breaky Heart video, and you're like, what the fuck world do we live in? Followed by a Motley Crue video, and you're like, these guys dress like chicks and are fucking weird.
Made me glad I didn't have MTV.
You win on that one. Now I know. Did you have to punch out, or was that what you were doing before? Because I was thinking,
I do have to get going.
All right, I'm going to beam Germ off. I'm going to hang with you guys a little while longer. What do you got going on your channel this week, my friend?
We'll have an episode of Enterprise on Saturday, and hopefully we will have Godzilla versus Mothra on Monday.
It's part 2 of the Klingon trilogy, or the Klingon two-parter. I don't know what to call this one. A return to Enterprise after William Shatner Day. And I guess this week I should probably contact Sussman and ask him if he wants to weigh in and maybe send us a message of any kind. He could do a video where he could tell us what he thought of Enterprise or give us any insights. I'm going to take that step probably in the next 2 days. I have to confer with Sean and the other guys first because we want to send them the best DM we can and show that we have good faith and that we're, professional about this, even though, hey, we're independent, but like we bring professionalism with us where we go. So that's Germs this week, and hopefully we'll be hanging out with we'll be talking to Sussman, or at least hearing from him, one way or another in the next few weeks.
Hopefully.
All right, Germ, thank you, sir.
Bye, everybody.
All right, it's just you and me. Whatever shall we talk about, Fraulein? Of substance abuse, mental health, and a series of legal issues, and a heart attack in 2023, congenital heart defect. Poor Miley. I feel very bad for Miley Cyrus. If that's regarding Xander Brandon. Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. Substance abuse, mental health, and a series of legal issues, plus a heart attack in 2023, and a congenital heart defect. All right. So there might be a natural causes there. I wish him no ill will. I would have preferred that he recovered and survived, but I didn't know what to call it, and I didn't know the details. So, okay, that's where it is. It's too bad. He would have been, a welcome addition on that Buffy show, but what can you say except like better to go out from natural causes than to die of embarrassment like the franchise is going to, huh? I love the Scooby Gang of Buffy. Oh, did they do that when they did a Scooby thing? I think I remember something about that. I got to be honest. One of the things that I'm lucky about here is I wasn't overly contaminated with the Whedon-esque writing. By the time Buffy came around, like, one, I watched Sliders a little more. Two, I thought of Buffy as a movie. I saw the movie. The TV show, I don't know if I didn't know if it was the same people. I thought it was like a licensed knockoff. I was confused by why it exists. And I didn't watch it. So I don't know anything about Buffy. I try. I've been working on it. I've seen a few episodes, but yeah, you know what? Scooby, you mean Buffy. You know what? The thing is, it ended seemingly at the right time on the right terms with like an iconic line. If the apocalypse happens, page me. Or if Armageddon goes down, you can beep me. Whatever it might be. And I don't know if he was putting us on or Disparu couldn't understand American. It's like, I don't know what she means, but she can beat me. But he made some great videos about that and some great Star Trek videos. He has been really helpful, and really a leader. Helpful is, hopefully we're helpful to the greater cause of saving Star Trek. But Disparu really a leader in the Star Trek community as far as making one video after another, really holding the feet of Star Trek Academy to the fire. If they come back with a season 2 and it's a one-day drop, we'll just review the final episode. And we look forward with like a bottle of champagne to the end of Kurtzman Trek. Oh, God. Then we can start to have a year without Star Trek and rebuild from the bottom up and have a Star Trek worth watching for everyone. I mean, this has been almost now 20 horrible years. We got 11 votes. Reacher Guy versus Neighbor fight. Reacher Guy's fault, 36%. Neighbor's fault, 36%. And a lot of people liking the stream and seeing the results. I deeply appreciate that. It means a lot to me that you do that. And as I look, we got 16 likes. We are halfway to 30. Getting to 30 would be great. I don't know if that's like doable. We're not going to be on a whole hell of a lot longer. But we will be around. Like you will be, if you come through later, your like still counts. Not vacating just yet, but we are getting towards the final, 20 to 30% of the show. Yes, they called themselves a Scooby Gang on the show. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, I didn't watch that show. Like, I did see the movie. The movie was funny. And what's weird is Academy Award winner Hilary Swank is in it. Weird stuff, right? And poor Luke Perry. Is there a curse of Buffy? Didn't he play that that character? Is both iterations of the Buffy boyfriend character dead? I love both Buffy, the show, and the movie that started it all. It was referenced in Andy Mack. Okay. All right, guys. I think that we've pretty much made it clear that the Madison is going to be a very scenic and slow show that will probably be regarded by most people as kind of a waste of time. It's not the worst show ever. It's got some appeal. Michelle Pfeiffer will probably win some kind of award for just standing there and looking into the meadow. And it does kind of feel like one long like commercial for like naturally grown beef or butter or something like that. I don't know what to tell you. It is a strange show and in its slowness, but it doesn't look like it was a really expensive show to make. As far as the Madison, it's not related to Yellowstone at all. With marshals drifting really far off the Yellowstone base, not seeming to have anything in commonality with it, and seemingly the show either had to be remade away from Yellowstone, or Taylor Sheridan said, you can take this character if I have the right to take him back. Mr. Markle, he says, yeah, there's going to be a movie with Meghan Markle. I guess she's the breadwinner in the family now. We suggested earlier that if she and Harry had another kid, they named the kid Debbie Harry, just to like capitalize on the goodwill. Because I don't know, Meghan Markle, like not such a bad actress and nothing wrong with like the looks there, like looking okay, acts okay. As far as the personality, like I don't know that the Brits were ever going to accept an American royal. They had it happen once before. They didn't really like that. I don't know if they're going to ever accept a non-white royal. I mean, just, you would think who cares, but then we heard that like Prince Randy Andy had crazy shit to say. Sorry, I had to leave. Suddenly got voluntold to go help with dinner after a 12-hour workday. Well, you know what? When you're voluntold, you know what? You're dealing with someone to make dinner. I'm assuming those orders came from a very hangry person. So you did the right thing, Sean. You know, sometimes you have to, duck and cover. We just covered a bunch of stuff this week to recap today's show and give you guys a little bit of an idea what's going on. Taylor Sheridan, he's making too much stuff. I don't know how much of it he's writing. Dutton Ranch looks like the next very serious show that's going to be Taylor Sheridan. And also that has been relocated to Texas, Dutton Ranch, okay? Dutton Ranch looking to move to Texas. Rumors still surrounding Don Johnson joining the Madison. It would help to have her have someone to talk to other than the Force ghost of Kurt Russell. Star Trek, NuTrek Year 1. There's so little there. It's an empty threat. Radioactive Actual is here. What's up? Hail to you. Take the poll. Try the veal. We're running down recap style what went on on today's show. We had a discussion about Taylor Sheridan being stretched a little too thin here. There's a Meghan Markle movie, and people are starting to compare her over in England to Anna Nicole Smith for some strange reason. I don't know why, but it's topical. In the Meghan Markle movie, it's called Close Personal Friends by MGM Amazon, so Amazon Prime, whatever you want to call it. Jack Quaid, he's in too much too. You got to slow down with the Jack Quaid. Oh, hey, Sean Carter with a very generous $2. Burton, no, what do we call Canadian Quatlu says, I asked why. She said, because she wanted to. Oh, well, that meal was served hot with extra spice. What can I tell you? And Radioactive says, Sean Carter, sir, sir, it's good to see you, sir, sir, sir. We will not be moving the United States of America. Thank you very much, sir. That's the position we have. What can we say? All these chats are very much appreciated. It's been a wild month. It was nice to step down off NuTrek. It was nice to step back off NuTrek. The Thursday show is still in the works. We plan on being here Thursday. There is work at the end of this week, which is great. That'll be fine. I'd love to be here with you guys. That's my favorite thing to do on Thursday. But if I can't do it, I will do a makeup show either on Saturday or something over the weekend, because Thursday and Friday, man, fingers crossed, looking booked with some real good stuff to keep Admiral Teague out the poorhouse and keep the quality high here, because every once in a while I know that I need to just go work my regular job, not think about this part of my life, and maybe not tweet so much and be on my phone DMing so much. Doom scrolling can really get to us. This is the worst algorithm we've had in a while. I advise everyone step back from the algorithm. Shoot a fire extinguisher at that phone. And remember, reparations. Oh, Sean, did you hear? If Cuba wants peace, they're going to have to make reparations. Admiral Teague's in line. I'm going to get me some reparations. 40 acres and a mule down in Cuba. I guess I'll let my family continue to live there, but as an American, I mean, wouldn't they have taken it from me? I don't know. I mean, if I have to deal with them, I mean, it's not like I speak Spanish, right? Guys, just gonna have to move. I don't know. I will say this: if it's safe enough, I will return to my ancestral homeland. I want to do it inside of my life. It sounds like it's pretty rough there now. I was a little flip about it. If you are a Cuban like myself, we are hoping that the situation can be resolved peacefully, and that hopefully freedom comes to Cuba in a way that by other means, but certainly quickly. However, I'm not a Cuban. I'm a fucking American from New York. And you know what? My loyalties are to this country and this flag. And I'm descended from United States Civil War veterans on the Irish side. So, you know what? Love it or leave it, baby. 4 pesos in a banana. Well, you do not want one. Well, I mean, 10% of the people they're offering it to statistically might want the banana there. But yeah, you're right. They're like, Admiral Teague, we have designed these banana boats for you. What can I tell you? Admiral Teague, Kurtzman owes you and the other Star Trek fans reparations, most definitely. Oh, what would reparations from Kurtzman be like? I don't want him around children. I don't want him around food. I can't have him working at the snack bar at the movie theater. I'm thinking labor. If I had, my way. I mean, obviously, we don't assign punishments for failed creative endeavors, but how about this? Just like forced to get like a minimal fee, too lazy to go out and teach. The worst thing in the world that could happen to us is Alex Kurtzman becomes a fucking professor. He can't tell a story. If he becomes a professor of literature or screenwriting or filmmaking or directing, I don't know what he can tell anyone. I mean, what's he going to tell you? Just like make it up as you go along and just gonzo it the entire era. I do not like bananas where they do not belong. Oh, JT needs to be here. JT's friend Iris was here, Sean. You missed it. Yeah, plus Kurtzman should have to pay for PTSD treatment. You know what? I'll settle for PTSD treatments. Can I get the same ketamine treatment that like certain celebrities get? Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's a little bit. I dropped the crowd in before the show. It's just I'm a little stuffy. You know what? I would like to get a blast of that ketamine at my doctor's office. Like, I'm not depressed, but I would point out that I'm a very good liar. I could fake it. It's not illegal for him to give it to me. Maybe I could just think I'm depressed. Maybe I could just start using my skills of acting to act depressed, convince myself I'm depressed with a fantastic method acting performance, and drift off kilter and maybe need the ketamine treatment. I don't know. A blast of ketamine. It's been since the 20th century in the doctor's office. Maybe this time it won't smell like almonds. I do not advise this for anyone, but like, I wonder out loud, would it be fun? You know what? It's been a really great show. 2 hours and 20 minutes of high quality time. I will now wait and see if there are any questions need to be answered. Keep up with the chat for a couple minutes. I think I've been right on it the whole time. Really kind of personal and informal meeting with you guys here. Did a lot better job of addressing a couple of things that I myself have recognized and I'm trying to improve on. Most professional Star Trek show, you can get at least a show that you deserve. The high energy and high intensity will remain in return. But you know what? The moderation skills, we're working on them and everything in moderation, right? I found that having like a couple of drinks on Sunday morning after the stream then taking a nap, waking up, and watching Miami Vice to do the reviews with Northern English Bastard have really been helpful for me. And we're going to try to figure out something to do on Sundays. Certainly, I want to be with you this week on Sunday if I can. And we're getting towards the end of March, so it might be important to do something. I want to try to get a member stream in. We did already have one this month, but it was to make up for February where things were real tight. We didn't have a lot of time. We had 2 in February, but member stream coming up. I promise I'll give you guys about 24 hours notice, give or take. And of course, don't share the past. Never share the past. I thought Kurtzman was already Professor Emeritus at the University of Rooster Lollipop. Honestly, for Alex Kurtzman to teach people, what could he teach them? Be willing to go to New Zealand to direct a few episodes of Xena to get your foot in the door, and then just collaborate with people who are better than you, take an undue and unfair share of credit, and then do stuff with your contract that is really unseemly. It's been a while, almost 7 full years soon since the end of the Netflix deal. It's 8 years for NuTrek. They got rid of them. 10 years almost for NuTrek. They got rid of NuTrek in 3. So we're getting real close to 7 years past the end of the contract with Netflix. I would be very interested, deeply interested to see when this non-disclosure agreement ends, if maybe some people from Netflix don't want to stand up and say, Alex Kurtzman took advantage of the contract. We got rid of it because we didn't think it was Star Trek. It was put out there when Alex Kurtzman was flatly refusing the arbitration and trying really hard to get his Star Trek made by Netflix on his own terms. Strongly put out there that it was the original continuity. The Paramount people shot that down. Then the people at Netflix put out that they paid for Star Trek and they didn't get it. And that then immediately brought Kurtzman to the negotiating table because that out there, that was the first body blow. And he's never really recovered from that. If you think about it, it's like that old video game. It's like body blow, body blow, body blow, uppercut, 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 uppercut. You know what? It's just knock him out. It's like Punch Out here with the characters and the way they do things. It's like the shows just don't work. We've gotten the same thing over and over. He hasn't been able to change up the flavor. He now thinks that these big, huge Academy Award winners will make him relevant somehow. No one wants to see them. Going on Kurtzman track, exactly. Punch Out. I love that fucking game. Punch Out was the best arcade game. Uppercut, uppercut, left hook, left hook. Knock him out. I don't. Does it make me istophobic that I like to fight bald bull? Because first you had to beat Glass Joe, and then there was someone else, but then you fought bald bull, and bald bull was fucking tough, man. You could lose to bald bull. Let's see. Radioactive says the actual Skirtsman totally put out the worst DEI message show of all time. You know what? Let's take a quick look and see how it's going over there on Goodbye Bluesky. I have a Blue Sky account, and it's only so no one else can. And I've been ongoing experiment over there. And what we're finding out is, 1, nobody wants to talk to me. Wow. I have no friends over there. 2, it is impossible to start a conversation over there. 3, the few people left, some are of goodwill and the rest are just batshit crazy. We had people, they either they're nice and they're like, oh yeah, baseball. I like baseball too. I have like 8 or 9 friends on there. Like 5 of them are that. One guy's just simply a centrist who has a centrist opinion, gets fucking flamed from everybody over there. He and I just, like, once in a while he'll say something that makes sense. I'll just like it. He follows me, I follow him. Nice enough guy. And that's really all it is. And so no reaction to this one. Admiral Teague, you tend to see the world differently after you helplessly watch your friends killed in twin explosions 2 miles above the streets of your hometown. It's something I hope no one ever has to see or understand firsthand again. And that's why I think maybe we have to stop all this woke DEI crap right now, because we were trying to define it. We had some stuff. It was always a borrowed idea, a purloined idea. a purloined letter. It's always changed substantially a lot. There's always race and gender swapping. It's almost always a prequel so that they don't have to deal with the lore and they can subvert and underwrite the lore. And there's always the message. But then the rest of the stuff that makes it woke, it gets real weird trying to understand where woke ends and where like well-developed female characters begin. Only Taylor Sheridan has been able to have a clear, bright line between the wokeness and the characters that work. You know, the greatest failure and the greatest danger of all would be that we see wokeness where there is none at all. And with that, I just want to thank everyone who came to the show tonight. Especially, I want to thank the geniuses at Paramount who gave us Taylor Sheridan to talk about, the genius of Gene Roddenberry, the idiocy of Alex Kurtzman, and viewers like Ruby Hoove. She would never say where she came from. Yesterday don't matter if it's gone. Stick around for the end of the poll. Oh, Ruby Hoove, thank you so much for making someone a member. Thank you for that super chat. Sean Carter, another member and a esteemed co-panelist on this show who brings so much to the table. Thank you, and thank you for the super chat. Sean Carter, Sigvaldason, you guys, you're all the best. And Ruby Hoove, thank you. Brought to you by fans like you and everybody out there in the chat. And I want to thank Sean, Sigvaldason, Ruby Hoove 9, Iris Gusta de Capitan. Hey, you know what? I think that's Portuguese. It's really good to have you here. You know, Star Trek's an international show. We don't mind the international guests. And, you know, being flirty with our pal JT, you know, within the bounds of good taste, and you want to have a little fun. Oh, well, you're all right. Power Ranger Donnie, a lot to say today. Good talking to you. Thanks for the update. Radioactive Actual was here. The Trek Reviewer was here. Radioactive Actual, thank you. Thank you, Radioactive Actual, for being here. Sir, what are we doing right now? Sir, I don't even know what I'm doing, sir. Quite frankly, sir, Steam is better. Steam is better, sir. I want to also thank who else? The Trek Reviewer, Jason Love, Doctor Who, Gavin Blackburn 1, Gavin Blackie. It's good to see you. Lombardi 1969, The Real Head Case, John the Beagle Dad, Planet X 97, Planet X 87. I'll get it right. I like Planet X 87. The future of YouTube. FKHC 2005, our friend Tim, PBE 777, and Resolute Germ, and whoever else may have been in the chat. I thank you all. Those are our top fans. All of you who lurk and all of you who come through later, you are most welcome and most well thanked. And you're welcome. Guys, leave me a stream. Leave me a question, rather. Leave me a stream. Leave me some emojis. Leave me something to react to. Talk to me after the stream is over. Hit refresh. Talk to me. The streams, the comments go further. We're growing this show. We are now in a phase where we're in a position to influence the future of Star Trek within a modest degree. If we keep our expectations reasonable and we keep our tone respectful, if we ask for stuff like meaningful interaction from male characters, families that have a patriarchal, element, and now a patriarchal element. Every father in NuTrek is taken off. Where's the father of Caleb? We ain't heard shit about him. And yes, Sigvaldason, USA, and T'Pol. Who could forget the gorgeous T'Pol? You guys are the fifth man on this squad. You know what? The sixth man on squad, rotated in, coming in, taking up minutes, helping, working the power forward role, shooting some hoops for us, doing some great stuff. You know what? We are the future of Star Trek. We are the Federation. As far as I'm concerned, this channel is the United Federation of Planets and all that's left of it. We are the Star Trek fans. Find the other true Star Trek fans, bring them here to me, and I will bring us hope, and I will guide us to a new future. I can't promise what will happen, but I know that NuTrek is going to end now. I'm sure of it. Doomcock is going to make a video about it. I plan to make a video about it. Support that video when it comes out. And I thank you all. Now, You have earned it so much. You've seen her on your screen the whole time, but now you get to see her dance. Let's see our pal, Sydney Sweeney. I love you all. I'll see you Thursday and definitely Saturday night at 9 p.m. for Saving Star Trek Enterprise.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?
We understand that it's wrong, Tuvok. Here she is.